Hey. Hey. Love train. Hey. Hey.
Yes, it is. Can we turn that up a little?
Yes. Hey. People all over the world join me. Love train. Hey. Join me. Hey. All right. That's you.
Hi.
Love train.
Yes.
I like you. I like you guys to meet someone very special to me, Miss Marty Morehouse. She doesn't want a big introduction, but I'm at least say she's an author, and she's a lot of other things. She has a lot of other titles, but today she's coming as a sister friend, and I appreciate her coming and giving her wisdom. She also has a book. It's right here with me, honey. It's called The Wisdom Chair, honey. And I suggest you guys go online, Google search, and look up the book. It's helped me tremendously. Welcome, Marty.
Well, thank you. And now I'm remembering this is virtual, so I can take off all of my stuff. Really, just kidding about this, but it just felt like we needed to use a little bit of humor.
Yeah.
During these times. So yes, my family. Yeah. It is wonderful to be here with you. And I'm grateful to you, Ebony, for the invitation. So and the music. Yeah, thank you. Dancing is always a good thing.
Yes, the OJs, Love Train.
Yes.
They bring it. So today, Marty is going to give us some tools while working towards staying. She's going to give us some tools while we're on this isolation thing, on this quarantine things. She's going to give us some tools to utilize while we're on this isolation thing.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
While coronavirus is roaming, we're going to practice some spirituality in the midst of that. And reclaim our time, like Maxine Waters said, we're going to reclaim our time.
Yes, I love that. So what I want to invite us all to do is to grab a pen and a piece of paper so that we can take a few notes. And I'm going to be taking notes too, because part of this is an exchange. This is a dialogue for all of us to be engaged in. So you may have something to say that I need to write down. And I believe I have a few things that might be worth writing down for self-care and self-love. Because I just for this conversation came up with some ideas that I'm thinking we can use after the phone call, after the Oh, pardon me. Well, it is kind of a phone call.
It's the Facebook Live, yeah.
Right, right. So the Facebook Live, yes.
Yes.
So I want to talk a little bit about my credentials, just to kind of give you an idea of who I am. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist and a life coach, and currently I counsel and teach at two community colleges. So that's a little bit about me professionally, but here I'm as a sister friend today. No titles, no licensing and any of that, but I do want you to know a little bit about me in case, you're wondering, why should I listen to her? Well, just so you have that now in terms of credentials. And I've been doing therapy for a long, long time, over 20 years. So, I know a little bit about mental health, and just want to share some ideas about that today, because in isolation, there's a lot going on. Just earlier today, I read something, and it was kind of talking about some of the things that this isolation can do to us. And I want to invite us today to counteract some of that, because it can get serious. So we want to talk, about how to take some of the power out of the negativity, out of the isolation, out of the aloneness. So, but I do also want to mention that even though we're not going to be having this discussion, this dialogue under my credentials, I still have an ethic and a code of love and justice and respect. Yes. So that's how we're going to be operating today, under that code. Things that really matter to us, I think anyway, in these kinds of conversations. Yes. So, yeah. So what do you think, Ebony? What do you think?
I think that was a great intro, and I'm ready to get into it. I'm here to learn, and I'm here to receive from a healer. So
all right.
I'm ready.
Get the party started then.
Yeah, party started.
We'll get it going still, though, actually.
Get it going.
Yes. So keep in mind that right now we're all doing the best we can. And that's something that I have learned to live with, because I used to accuse all kinds of folks of all kinds of things, and then accuse myself of all kinds of things. And then I realized we truly are doing the best we can.
Yes.
So I want to say this is an invitation for us to do better, because we are going to learn better if we're willing, if we allow that. Yeah. So that's kind of what this practice is today. Let's do better, because we'll know better by the end of this exchange between us. So while you're working toward being safe and being well, I want to talk about, what are we doing? What are we doing for our minds, for our bodies, and for our sacred selves? And if you will, let's start with the body. You know what? On your piece of paper, grab your pen, and let's do an outline. Excellent. Yes, yes. Writing a love letter to ourselves. Because self-love, and I say this a lot, is one of the greatest acts of kindness. Because if we can do that, if we can love who we are, then it's so much easier to love anybody else in this world, or anything, dogs and cats and trees and the ocean, and have a little bit more respect for those kinds of things. And so it starts with self-love. So I want to start with that love letter. So, dear, write your name.
Dear Ebony,
Yes, and dear
Yeah.
Marty, yes. And we want to write this love letter to these various aspects of ourselves, our body, our mind, and our sacred selves. So I thought that maybe we would start with the body. So find something, some part of you that you truly appreciate. Some part of your body. Now I know for some of us that's hard, because I was one of those people who, until I grew up and into myself, didn't know how to appreciate my body. I was to this, to that, and I could go along the list, but we're not going to do that. So what is it about you? What physical part of you do you currently appreciate and that you can express some love toward? So we're going to build on our strengths instead of, something else. So find that. And what I want you to do, and you can start jotting some notes down right now if you want to, write a love letter. It could be your earlobe, the tip of your nose, could be your breast, your legs, your hair. Find something. Okay. So express how you love that physical part of yourself. And now, so, it will be quite a challenge for us to be doing this right now, but that is something, just write down some notes about that. How are you going to tell that body of yours, that part of your body, that you love that part? And then what I want you to think about is, how are you going to take better care of that part of your body? One of the things that I've come to realize is it's not necessarily about stopping old habits, because that can be a lot. Sometimes we just need to replace old with new, and without even thinking about the old. If you drink more water, you're going to drink less soda, right?
Right. That's true.
So, what can you do to nurture that part of your body? Maybe if it's your hands and they're starting to get sore, maybe you can massage them, give them some love. So if it's your legs, you can do the same, massage them, or maybe you need to, go for a walk. We are allowed to get out there and walk. So that's something you could do to take care of your legs. So, and I know some of y'all got some good, bottom exercises if you need to tone or tighten, but, so just think about that. And, so when we get off of this, continue working on that. Now, I want to talk about the mind. How we think. Now, my brain is one of the things that I really like about myself. I can't see it, and I've never had, an X-ray or an examination of my brain. So I don't know exactly what it looks like, but the reason I love my brain so much is because I have trained it to think positive. And it changed my brain, because when I'm on that track of negativity, I learned how to do that so well. I mean, I could just stay on that track and spiral deeper and deeper and deeper into sadness and all kinds of other things. So how we think, our thoughts, our mind, taking care of that. How do we tell that part of us? Jot this down. So we talked about the body now. So how do we take care of the mind, the brain? How do we take care of that part of us? So that is the second part of your love letter. I love my brain because my thoughts are, and then write those positive thoughts down. And again, yes, it's easy to spiral into all that other stuff. And if you let that take over, then your brain, your mind, it's being taken care of, except that space is negative and painful. So we want to shift some of that, because it could be real easy right now to just be like, oh my goodness, I'm at home, no place to go, no nothing to do, nobody to be with. Well, here we are together right now. And we can do more of these with all kinds of wonderful people. Miss Ebony, I know you have all kinds of folks that you're going to be inviting to go into folks' homes in this way. So, shift that negative thinking into something positive. And it's pretty easy. Now, that doesn't mean that when you first start doing it, you're going to believe it. It's hard to convince yourself after 30, 40, 50, 20, however many years of a lot of other kinds of thinking
18.
that you can, change it.
18 years.
18, yeah. I love it. And
Yeah.
I can see that 18-year-old you go now. Yes, yes. So, we could. So how do we shift it? How do we change it? And then write a love letter to that wonderful mind of yours. Tell that wonderful mind how much you love it and appreciate it, and how much you're going to start nurturing it a little bit better and a little bit more. And how you're going to do that? You're going to feed it positivity, right? Good thoughts. And I invite you, when it's not a good thought, when you're spiraling, to just stop and breathe and come back to the present moment, because most of our negativity is about something that happened or something we are anticipating. So come back to the present. Like right now, you might be isolated, but if you're watching this, be in your joy, because here we are together, right? So be in joy. Not thinking about yesterday, tomorrow, right now, right here. And tell your mind, I'm right here. I'm in this moment. I have joy. Whatever it is. So write a love letter to your brain, because you're writing the love letter to these parts of you. Those parts are going to feel more appreciated, right? Yeah. And then, going to serve you better. So this last part that I want to mention, I want to go back to the mind. So you have a thought and it just is spiraling. And I said, breathe, pause, just say, stop. What's your word? What's your thing that's going to make that stop? Take that breath, because breathing expands the chest and the belly and the oxygen and all of that. And it just kind of helps us make that shift. So then you make that shift. Yeah, there you are. Look at you, beautiful breathing. Yeah, I see you. I see you. So, and then this third aspect, our sacred selves. Ooh. Our pure form. Now, if you believe in souls and spirits and all of that, then that's what I'm talking about. However, if you don't, that sacred self is still that purest part of who you are. The innocence, when we first started, when we were fresh and new to this world, there was an innocence, there was a purity. Now, from the beginning, there might have been some messes in some of our lives, unfortunately. Yes, we come with all kind of history. So think of the most sacred thing, though, the most precious and pure thing that you can create in your mind, that you can fathom. Is it a puppy? Well, okay. You can relate your sacred self to that, but just close your eyes for a moment. Take that breath. And maybe there's this bright light that'll come to you. Maybe. And that bright light, that's you. That's your sacred self. So do what it takes for you to get to that part of yourself. And maybe you'll only get a glimpse initially. So then you write a love letter to that part of yourself. So what we're doing is we are inviting these wonderful parts of us to be more present, our best qualities in our body, our most wonderful thinking, our most positive thinking, and that part of us that is sacred. Now, you can do all of this. Doesn't cost you any money. You don't have to go anywhere, right? Now, you can access different resources online if you need to, but you can do all that we've talked about, without an investment other than time, commitment, sincerity, integrity, because you are the one who is going to be monitoring your progress and whether or not you're doing it. And I know I'm not saying do this every day all the time. Sometimes, sometimes, one time, as often as you're willing. But this love letter piece, if you would, write a love letter. So that's just, one thing that I was thinking we could do for this whole self-care piece. Yeah.
Thank you, Marty.
Oh, my goodness.
That's such a gift.
We're
running kind of late, so I don't want to shift the energy. I want to stay on this energetic path. And before we wrap up, I wanted to ask you if the universe was giving you one word. One word. I asked this to all my guests,
Yes.
One word. We may have to feel it,
Yes. Well, I will tell you, joy. Even in the midst of this, joy is my word, because I have some. I have things to be joyful about. And again, we're talking about that brain and shifting it. So when I'm in that place, when I say that and I convince myself, I get to have it. And I'm running around here. I got a little bit of a yard, so I can run around there and just experience that, or in the house or wherever. But joy is the thing that I hold on to. Now, there's lots of other things too, but you have the one word. Yes. So joy. I will share. Yes, that's the word that's coming up for me from the universe right now. And I tell you, in part, it's because I'm with you. Sister friend, I'm with you right now. How can I not feel joy?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, we have another guest. So how can people get in touch with you? How can they?
See, there you go. I told you that. There you are. Well, I have a little community on Facebook. Wisdom Chair Journeys is my, my little community on Facebook. And wisdomchairjourneys@gmail.com if somebody wants to, send me an email. And also we have a YouTube page, Wisdom Chair Journeys. So that is how folks can contact me. And soon I will be uploading some wonderful meditations. Right now there's some things on there, but I'll be loading up some new meditations. My husband has written some wonderful music and, to some interesting words that I've written. And I think it'll be something that can help.
That's awesome. Thank you for coming, and thank you for being on my Facebook page and dancing with me and giving us. I'm going to start my love letter to my mind, to my body, to my spirit, my person. So I thank you for that gift. Thank you for the gift of joy today. I thank you for that. I feel the joyful energy. I receive it. I am joy. Looking forward for you to come back and talk about that next book that's coming.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right, y'all. I love you. I love you. I love you. I'm so grateful.
Thank you. Oh, so we're going to keep this going. That was Marty. I have another special guest that's waiting in the rafters. His name is going to come up right now. And there it is. And there it is. And there it is. We haven't even went over what we're going to talk about, but he is here and he is handsome. Look at him. The most beautiful man in the world. Okay.
Hi, Mama. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. It's so funny. I met you a couple years ago and we bonded instantly. I
Yeah.
feel like we're the loudest ones in our cohort for Equality California training. But I just immediately was like, that's my girl. And it's funny because this is the first time we're talking since then. But it feels like I've been with you for like the last 2 years on the journey of the work you've been doing, which is so much. So I just want to start off by thanking you for all the work that you do for so many different communities. And I hope you just receive all the blessings that you put out there.
Thank
Really
you.
do. Yeah.
And the same goes for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So people need to know who you are.
Sure.
You are an actor, right?
Yeah.
You are a therapist. You're a therapist?
No, I'm a licensed spiritual counselor.
Licensed spiritual counselor.
And I'm in my ministerial candidacy right now.
Oh, you're in your ministerial candidacy. Actually, could you do an intro? We just did this on the whim.
For sure. This is just a chill conversation between two loving people, right? So my name is Brandon Kneefel, and I'm a licensed spiritual counselor through Inspire Spiritual Communities, which is an interfaith church in Los Angeles founded for and by LGBTQ plus people. And I'm currently in their ministerial program. So I'll be finishing that up in about 14 months. And my life has been centered around activism, specifically in the queer community and other underrepresented and underprivileged communities, and my spiritual work. So I'm also a clairvoyant medium, but I use that not to give people predictions and fortune telling, but to help them heal. So I will do energetic healing in the sense that I'm led by spirit to say and do certain things with the client in order to guide them to their, to step into their superpower, because it's time for us to stop playing small. Like, if you know anything about Ebony, she does not play small. And I know she's putting that message out into the universe. Yeah. And just really quick, for anyone out there that might not have like a spiritual identification, please forgive me. I sometimes use different words for a higher power. So if you have one that you like in place of God or spirit, feel free to use like Mother Nature or love or unity or peace. All those apply. So didn't want to exclude anyone.
So thank you for that. In an era, a lot of us from the LGBT community, some of us have been hurt by the church, have been spirituality, fake spirituality has been used as a weapon against us, against who we are. I don't know if you've been through that, but how did you find your path back to a spiritual?
Sure. That is so important, especially right now. I think people are looking for something to believe in, whether it's humanity or a higher power. But I was actually disowned by my evangelical Christian parents in high school when I came out. So I spent the rest of my year, in my senior year, couch surfing. And then eventually I landed with with my best friend and his mom and sister, who are very loving, and I consider them family still to today. But I was so stubborn when I was little. I was so adamant about, you do not have spiritual sovereignty over my personal relationship with a higher power. Mm-hmm. So I was not deterred one little bit. Mm-hmm. I knew that God loved me and affirmed me without reservation, and you were just mistaken. Mm-hmm. So that's allowed me to connect with so many youth who are stuck in conservative households, whether it's evangelical Christian, Catholicism, Mormonism, and show them that, like, you won't be unloved by your God because of being who you are.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a struggle with me too, because my mom is a pastor, gospel pastor from Jamaica. And so there was a lot of laying on hands, praying the gay demon out of me, you know. So just like a lot of other trans people, I didn't get affirmed as the gender I identified as. You know, I got negative affirmations from the beginning, and I at around 18, I was like, there is no God, there is no higher power. Why would he let me go through all these things as a kid? Why would he let people in Africa starve? But as I evolved and as I went through stuff, my understanding of God, which that word has a negative connotation to it, has evolved, and it's more of an energetic thing now. You know, it's not a God pointing down from the sky and saying, you did this, you did this. You know, it's about energy. It's this life-sustaining energy that is keeping this world going around, that's keeping our hearts beating. So
I love that you said about energy, because when I think of God, I don't think of a human. I think of, you know, I tell people, so your God looks like this, and they're like, well, kind of. I'm like, if I could imagine what my God looked like, I'd made God too small. You know, it's like God's beyond the beyond, you know, the original I am consciousness that we are sprung from. Like, we are divinely wired to be as great as possible for each other and for ourselves. So that's energetic, like you were talking about.
Yeah. So well put. I've thought about everything that you just said. Yes. Come through. So during this self-quarantine thing, during this coronavirus scary thing, do you have any advice, any mental health advice, anything that you're practicing yourself that helps you get through the day, that helps you get centered, that helps you deal with your anxiety about?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I just want to address too that there is going to be so much PTSD after this is over. Find people who relate to this. And if you can't afford a therapist or a counselor, find people and just talk about what you're going through. Start now. Don't talk about the facts and figures of what's happening in the news. Talk about what is coming up for you, because we're given a time to reflect in the midst of an invisible war. So what that means is that things are going to be pulling from us in our subconscious beliefs about our value and worth, and in regards to, oh, are these people going to reach out to me? Or, oh, am I going to get sick? Or would anybody miss me? Like, all those thoughts can start running through our heads. And we have to know that, okay, my center is more powerful than I've even imagined. And once I get there, I will be okay. And the way I find my center is just left hand on my heart, and then left hand over my right hand over my belly button. And then just try to like pass like white light energy between those areas while breathing. And then you'll start to know. I say that spirit and the divine speaks through your heart and your gut, and just start to let white light energy swirl kind of like an infinity sign just through those areas. And this will strengthen you, and this will calm your central nervous system, and this will take you out of the fight or flight mode, because what we're being asked to do right now is to step into something new. It's interesting. As a clairvoyant, I made a prediction in November around the election. I said something huge globally would intercept the election and kind of like disrupt it for a bit. And then I also said, those who support Bernie will get a revolution, but it won't come from him. Mm. But his languaging would help them know how to rebuild. Mm. So I think that's what we are moving toward. We're watching the castle crumble so that we as a society can decide what it's going to look like, as opposed to, you know, a handful of white Englishmen from, 1776 deciding what was equality without even the word equanimity at that time. So, yeah. So, and just in general for me, like from, like as a person just going through this, I recognize that if I pay attention to too much of what I am not able to do, like I'm a stubborn rebel. If you tell me to stay inside, I'm gonna be like running through the streets naked. So I can tell myself,
people would pay to see that, Brandon.
Brandon starts an OnlyFans that just runs through the street back and forth.
Oh, man, yeah.
We gotta make money here this time. Pay the bills. Right. So the thing for me is like, okay, I don't want to stay inside because someone's telling me to. And I have a spiritual background with energetic healing, so I'm practiced in not fearing certain things. So if I'm not staying inside because I'm told to, and I'm not staying inside because I'm afraid to go outside, then what would be the alternative? So I decided that I would stay inside. I would not feel quarantined. I would not use the word quarantined. I would stay inside as solidarity and holding space, holding sacred space for others' wellness. So doing that has allowed me the freedom of choice a little bit, like, oh, I chose this. But it's also reshaping it in my mind, because if I'm able to focus on helping heal others, there's no room left for me to be in self-pity or to be in fear of getting ill. And if I get sick, I get sick. And then we'll do our best to make sure that I get better. But right now, it's like, I can't compile an illness with anxiety, because anxiety already lowers your immune system. It already messes you up. So we need to be healthy and optimistic even through the illness.
Brandon, that helped me. That just helped me. You just gave me a word. Ha! A word! Ha! Hey! A word!
All right. I'm feeling that. I wish I had a rolling chair so I could back up.
Well, yeah, rewording that in my brain. I'm not here because I'm made to be here. I'm here for other people's health. Yes. That's empowering. That is so empowering. I really needed to hear that. Thank you. Yes. That is so empowering. That's helping somebody who's watching this right now.
Someone like you, that your energetics, like the energy you can hold so much freaking space for so many people. Yeah. And the more space you hold for people, the stronger your aura gets. Yeah. So, honey, if you just spend a week doing it, you will transcend. We'd be like, where's Ebony? And I'd be like, oh, she's in heaven now.
Okay. Take me higher. Okay, so you got to wrap up. I know we was kind of late. But what I do at the end of my interviews now, you're my third interview. Cool. I want you to think about this. Give me a word that the universe is giving you right now. Just one word, and then expound on that word.
Sure. It's inspire. So the etymology of inspire means to breathe life into. So when you're inspired, you feel bigger, you feel bolder, you feel more alive, you feel healthier, and you can do things that you didn't think you could do before. And that's all within you. Anytime you hear something that's inspiring, it's not because it's out there, it's because it triggered a memory of who you truly are, of who you're meant to be, and who you can step into at any moment. So I wish that everyone could experience the blessing of their own inspiration and how in awe they would be of themselves if they could look at who they truly are and what they can do.
Okay. All right. Okay. Brandon, how do people get in touch with you if they want to talk to you? Is there an email? Is there a website?
Yeah, I'm definitely very active on Instagram. I answer pretty much all my messages, and it's my first and last name in the red down below us. First and last name and on Instagram, and then firstandlastname.com is my website.
Okay.
Thank
all right.
You
and Google. You can say Google me.
Google.
You can
Google. But don't call me out for those shirtless photos.
Oh, well, I'm sure they won't. They'll call me
spiritual.
They will call me in for those. Well, thank you, Brandon. Thank you.
I love you, Ebony. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you. I love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, that was Brandon. And Brandon is a powerhouse. I love him. You can Google him. There's the name. So this is almost a wrap. I gotta get this. Okay. Look at me being all fancy. I have one positive affirmation for you to end this. If you want, you can repeat after me. I can. I will. End of story. Let's do it one more time. I can. I will. End of story. That's it. That's it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's interviews. I'm just trying to shift the energy, put some positivity out there. And I hope that someone got something from this live. Sending you love, sending you good vibrations. Let me see if we can get the OJ started again. Alexa, continue.
Resume Amazon Music.
Yes, Alexa's listening today. Y'all know about this. People all over the world. Hey. Hey, Evan, I see you there. Hey. Hey. Hi, Olivia. I see you, girl. Hey, Janelle. Don't you know that it's time to get on board and let this train keep on riding on. Hey, people all over the world. Hey, join hands. Love train. All right. See y'all later.